All right, everybody. We had to start off that with the late Pastor Sean Jones and his believers. But you did it. I love it. I absolutely love it. And we hope that you loved it too. We say a pleasant good evening to each and every one of you on tonight. Let me tell you this, we have a Power Pack program tonight. We have a program that I need your input. But if you don't give it to me, I can talk this whole hour about what we are going to talk about tonight. We must work together. That's the topic. We must work together. But here's what I'm going. Here's where I'm going tonight. You know, so many times we see things happening on the news. We see things in our community. Now, listen to me very good. And we want to blame the school teacher. We want to blame the police officer. We want to blame the leaders in our community. But you know where the blame a lot of times starts at? In the home. What are you doing in the home to raise your children so when they go out that they will do the right thing? Oh, I know that's not going to set well with some people, but that's what we're going to talk about because we cannot blame the school teachers. We cannot blame the community leaders. We cannot blame the politician for everything that goes on within the community. We can't do it. We got to take responsibility for ourselves. And let me tell you why this hit home with me. Somebody called me and they were talking, we got an election that's coming up on October the 24th. And somebody called me and they wanted me to do a debate with the two candidates. And they called and I said, well, you know, I don't like to do debates too much. I don't like that too much. I just like to look at the facts. I like to look at the facts. So we're going to deal with the facts tonight. But let me speak to you guys. Hey, Reggie, thank you for joining us. Hey, Miss M, thank you for joining us. Yes, that was my Pastor Sean Jones. He will never, ever be forgotten as long as I live. He will never, ever be forgotten. Hey, Miss Eartha, how you doing? Now, let me ask you a question. I want to ask you a question. I talk to a lot of school teachers. I talk to a lot of leaders. I talk to a lot of political leaders. You see things going, is the school teacher responsible for that daughter or that son taking the gun to school? Is the politician responsible for a shooting in a community? What's the other one? Is a community leader responsible? The answer is no. We must all work together. The parents need to work with the community leaders. The community leaders need to work with the parents. The teachers need to work with the parents, and the teachers will work with the parents. But a lot of times you can't work with the parents because in the parents' outside, their children is always right. And y'all know how it is. The child is always right. And I don't care how much we love our children are not always right. Our children is one way when they're home, but when that child walk out of that door, you don't know what personality they take home. You don't know what they do when they get on the school bus. You don't know what they do when they get to the schoolhouse. You just don't know. But I've been in the presence of people, ladies and gentlemen, and this is really, really deep to my heart because I've been in the presence of people when they say, not my child, or my child wouldn't do that. We all believe in our children. I believe in my son, but I don't know what my son is doing when he's not around me. And then when the teacher sent a note home, instead of you going out there to see what really happened, you go out there and want to fight the teacher. You want to fight the teacher. And don't you know that child is looking at everything you are doing, how you're reacting to the situation? Children are very smart. They go home and they tell you a one-sided story. And then you go out there, you don't ask the teacher what happened. You automatically go out there and start fussing at the teacher. And then you wonder what's wrong with the community. It starts at home. Now I'm gonna go back 62 years ago. I'm gonna walk my life. Was I perfect? No. Did my mom and daddy raise me good? Yes. When I got on that school bus, was I a different person? I got bad reception. Okay. Was I a different person when I got on that school bus? Yes. Was I a different person when I got to school? Yes. I was a different person. I will fight you in a minute. And my mom and daddy didn't raise me like that. But the only difference in back then and now is that if they sent a note home to my mama and my daddy, we got a beating. We got a beating. When they sent that note home, we got a beating for acting up in public. But now we withhold our children. We withhold what they do. We don't listen. Oh, I know this is tight, but this is really right. And I'm gonna talk about a variety of things because it's very important. I'm not a politician, so I can say it. I'm not a teacher, so I can say it. I'm not a community leader, but I work in the community, so I see a lot of things. You have some people, and I'm going to say this, and I'm going to look in the camera when I say it. The only time they're supposed to be community leaders, but the only time, and I mean the only time that you see them in the community is when a TV camera is present. Say that again, Loretta. Thank you. I believe I will. The only time you see them in the community around the young people is when some tragedy has happened and you are standing in front of a TV camera. That's not the time that the young folks need you. The young folks need you before trouble happens. And you are supposed to be that community leader that people are looking up to, but you can never be found until the TV cameras is there. Oh, yes, Lord. I see it all the time. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, what's happening here? Something is wrong. You never see these people until the TV station is around or a tragedy happened. But what about that child who is struggling every day? Do you ever do anything in the community for the young people before tragedy happens? Do you ever have community meetings? Listen to the parents, listen to the screams of the children before trouble happens. When the trouble happens, it's not the time for everybody to meet in a building and say, this should happen, that should happen. The time to meet is when nothing is happening, is when nothing is going bad. But it's not important enough to us. You know why? Because there's not a TV camera there. It's not a TV camera there. And it's not important enough. I am very involved in politics. Very involved in politics. I don't go by nothing that I see on TV. I don't go by nothing I hear on the radio. I don't go by nothing that I see on a Facebook video. I do my homework. And what I want to know, what have you done before? What have you done to help a young person? What kind of programs have you came up with to help young people? Have you introduced anything for young people to do after school for those who don't have nothing to do or nowhere to go because mom and dad is working? That's what I look at. I don't go by the politicians that when they're running for election, they're in the hood. We need you to be in the hood when you're not running for office. Oh, I know I'm in trouble, but it's right. And it needs to be said. You never see them in the hood until it's election time. Let your presence be seen in the hood. Let your presence, if we are good enough to vote for you during election time, if we're good enough for you to come in the hood and set up during election time, we're good enough for you to come in there, have some resource meetings, bring some resources, talk about some things that's happening, but we don't want to do that. You know why? Because nobody want to step on anybody's toes. Everybody, you have this circle that people deal with, and nobody wants to offend anybody. Nobody wants to hurt that person feel. You can't get anything done like that. Sometimes people are going to have to be offended. And it's not about friendship. When you take an oath to do something, who are you taking the oath for? Are you taking the oath for that friend or for the people in the community? Wake up, people. Wake up. These are things you got to look at. Anybody can sound good during election time, but the bottom line is, what are you doing before? What difference are you trying to make? Now, those of you who many of you heard about the incident that happened about 2 or 3 weeks ago. 1, 2, 3, where the 3 teenagers got killed and one got shot. That was devastating. They were all between the age of 15 and 17. That was devastating. And you know what? Let me tell you what happened. There were meetings popping up everywhere. Hey, Miss Virginia, thank you so very much for tuning in. And everybody, I'm just kind of wound up because this bothers me. It was meetings going on everywhere. Meetings here, meetings there, meetings here, meetings here. Well, what about the meetings now? What kind of game plan are we going to come up with now so we can kind of prevent some things from happening? Now, I have sense enough to know that you can't prevent everything. You can't prevent everything from happening. But why wait? I'm going to say that to you again, especially you leaders, community leaders. Why wait till something happen to want to have a meeting? Why wait till something happen to stand in front of a TV camera like you've been doing something all the time when you ain't even been in the hood? Come on, Loretta. Hey, Miss Elliott. I'm telling you, and this is not just about Columbia, South Carolina. This is about all over the world. This is happening all over the world. Where are people when you need them? Where are people when there's a crisis going on? Who can that mother go to? What community leader can that mother go to and say, I'm having problems with my son. I'm having problems with my daughter. Can you help me? Who can you go to? And that's what they're supposed to be doing. And a lot of people, Lord, I know I'm in trouble, but I really don't care because I'm tired of this. I'm tired of what I'm seeing. And my heart is burdened because you have people, they win this leadership award and this community award and get this award for what? What are they doing? But patting their friends on the back. When you got to get out there, and you got to find everybody that you see with droopy pants and dreadlocks are not bad. You have some that's straight A students, but you would never know because you don't take time to talk to them. You don't take time to go out there and mix and mingle. The homeless, before they renovating this part. Now, I used to go sit out there and talk to them. You got some of the most intelligent homeless people that they are. They just had something to happen, one thing to happen that knocked them backwards, and we frown up at them because they homeless. That's not the way it's supposed to be. It's not the way it's supposed to be. I know it don't sound right, but it's not the way it's supposed to be. We are not doing what we're supposed to do, and we need to stop reacting and stand from in front of these TV cameras when somebody get killed if you're not doing nothing any other time. Hey, I know that's right. If you're not working in some kind of center, youth center, if you are not being supporting what you call them pee-wee games and different things like that, if you're not supporting that and then a tragedy happened and you want to get in front of the camera like you're doing so much, what are you doing? What are you doing? We need you now. We need you before something happens. Yeah, Miss Virginia, I am so tired of seeing that. We need they stand behind the sheriff, which is my boss, who can't do it all, and but he does a fantastic job. But they stand behind him like this with their chest stuck out, like they've done so much. They doing nothing. They build their own careers. It's all about me, myself, and I. It's all about their section of people they deal with. But the young single mother that live in low income housing, they don't have nobody to come and reach out to them. When they hear tell her something that's going on in school, who goes out there and check and see what's going on? Oh, come on. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Miss Savage, we are beyond talking. It's time for action in a concerted and collaborative way. It is not about egos. You're absolutely right, Miss Savage. Miss Savage, and I don't think she'll mind me saying it. Miss Savage is 78 years old, and she do more than some of these community leaders that's in their 40s and 50s, and that has the title. She don't have the title, but she's always out there trying to make a difference in the lives of young people, and she don't wait till something happen, and it's not important to her whether she stand in front of a television camera or not. It's not important to her, but she gets the work done. And those are people that we are missing. We have more people with egos than we have that's really out there trying to help. And yes, Loretta Coleman said it. And because I watch and I see, and I say, I just don't understand. Now, I'm not fussing at anybody. Please know that. But I'm disappointed in what I see. And that's why I'm not carried away when I hear commercials or election commercials or and I'll do this and I'll do that. The time when you get in the seat is not to do it. What have you done before you got in the seat? What have you done? What kind of people have you helped? What kind of young people have you mentored that was not in your selected group? I saw something about a year or so ago, and Miss Savage, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you're gonna give away a whole bunch of scholarships, for God's sake, don't give them to everybody in your circle, in your clique. What about that? What about that child that want to go to college that don't have the money, really don't have the money to go? I'm telling you, that stuff like that is so disturbing. Hey, Demond, he said, "What kind of young people have you helped and mentored?" That's what I'm talking about. That that right there. What kind of young person have you helped and mentored? Some young people, all they need, y'all, is somebody to listen. All they need is a listening ear, not you listening and fussing at them, but sometimes just listen to them and listen to what they have to say. But we don't want to do that. We don't want to do that. But that's what I used to volunteer at the Department of Juvenile Justice. Lord, the stories that those young people will tell you, it's no excuse of them getting in trouble, but most of them will say, I was trying to get my mom and daddy's attention, but they were too busy partying. They were too busy going out with their friends. They were too busy having friends at the house and was ignoring the love that we need. And they would even go as far, yes, they would get me any electronic device I wanted. Yes, they would get me the Nikes. Yes, they would get me the name brand jeans. But they said they needed more than that. Do you not know that broke my heart? Matter of fact, they put me out. They wouldn't let me go back because I got too attached to them. And I had did it for about 2 years. But then, when you hear the stories and you feel so sorry for them because you got children right in your house that's crying out for help, but you're so busy that you can't notice the fact that they need help. And that's the only thing that I am saying. The mind said they need and want love and attention. That's what they want. That's what they want. It's okay if you buy them the nicer things, but they want your love and they want your attention as well. Hey, Cheryl, thank you for joining us. That's what our children want from us. And we frown at people. We frown at young people when they get in trouble. We frown at young people when they make a mistake. What about the mistake we made? What about the mistake, the things we did when we was coming up that nobody know about, that we didn't get caught? What about those things that we did? And we look at them and we frown at young people when we should be there. We should say, I didn't do what you did, but I did things, and God brought me out. And I had to suffer through some things. I had to come through some things, but come on. That's how we need to talk to young people. Every young person don't need to be preached to. Sometimes young people just need somebody to listen. And that's how a lot of young people get in trouble, because they want to belong. They want to fit in, and they want that love that they're not getting at home. And we're so busy working. Yes, we have to work. We do. We have to work in order to provide for them. But you don't work all the time. And how often do we tell our children we love them? How often do we sit down and say, what's going on with you today? How was school today? What went on at school today? How often do we find out? Is there anything that you need to tell me? Things like that. And I'm saying that to the leaders too. Just like we can have all kind of things when it's election time. Okay, have those kind of things when it's not election time. Pull together meetings and stuff like that when it's not election time. I mean, and then the smart thing, that is really the smart thing to do, because if you pull together with them during the time it's not election time, you won't have to worry about going out, spend a whole bunch of money getting somebody to vote for you, because that young person is going to remember, well, they were there for me. They came in the hood to check on me. They came to the school to check on me when they heard I was in trouble. Oh my God. I'm trying to tell you. Cheryl said, we all done things we're not happy or pleased with. That's absolutely right. Yes, Damon said. Damon said, consistent involvement and outreach to our younger people is vital. It's vital. But are we too? We busy. We say we busy. Oh God, help me to calm down tonight. But I like I said, I work well. I work and I watch and I see, and I saw when those 3 teenagers got killed and that one got shot, and all these people packed in this building. Well, why somebody had to get killed for the building to be packed? Why it can't be packed once a month or either once a quarter? And say, what can we do for you? Is there anything that we can do to help? You're not going to be able to help everybody. You're not going to be able to do everything somebody wants you to do. But when a person see you trying, when a person see that you care, whether you can even do it or not makes all the difference. But we too busy doing nothing. Oh God, Damon, I'm in trouble. But we too busy doing nothing. We too busy doing things that don't really matter, that's not helping young people. And parents, I'm going to say this to you. Stop going to the schools wanting to fight the teacher before you know the facts. Stop going to the school wanting to fight the teacher before you know facts. All of us know our children. All of us love our children. But the truth be told, our children will lie to us too. Go and find out the facts. Take your child with you. The child right here, the teacher right here. Let the child tell their version, then let the teacher tell their version. You know who lying. Don't just take your child word and then you go out there and you want to jump on that teacher. Oh my God. We shouldn't do that. It is so much more, ladies and gentlemen, that could be done and that should be done that we ain't doing. And then to sit and look at some of these people get community service awards for what? Who you serving? Please tell me, because I'm on social media all the time and I'm in the community. So please tell me who you serving. Is it a private set of people? Because there's a whole select neighborhoods that's not getting the things that other neighborhoods are getting. There's a whole group of neighborhoods that's not benefiting like other neighborhoods are. So how are you going to make the difference? How are you going to make the difference? What are you going to do? That makes two of us. I don't mind being in trouble for what is right. Amen. Amen. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? We can't. I see people. Not only do they fault the teacher, they fault the police and the politician. The politician and the police can't do it all. It takes a collaboration of everybody working together. We got to work together. You can't blame a politician for something your child did if you wasn't there. You can't blame a law enforcement for something that your child did when you wasn't even there. You didn't even know he wasn't home. He or she wasn't home when they got in trouble. You thought they was home. Well, let me read some comments. Judge Judy said, you want to know when a young person starts to lie as soon as they open their mouth. That's what she says. That varies case by case, persons by persons. You're absolutely right. Cheryl said, that's the sad thing. We're teaching our children how to fight and be violent by acting out without getting facts and understanding. That's what we're doing, Cheryl. That's what we're doing. And then, parents, I'm talking to you now. What did they hear from us at home? When I was coming up, when grown folks talk, we either had to go outdoors or we had to go in the back room. What kind of conversations are your children hearing you discuss? What do you not know my mom and daddy wouldn't let us see them drink liquor? They wouldn't let us see that. They wouldn't let us see certain things. But now you have parents that do anything in front of their children. They say anything in front of their children. They bring anybody home in front of their children, and then they wonder what happened. Now, let me see. I think I got lost here somewhere. These parents seem to have very little to no accountability and responsibility. You're right. Regina said, your children can't be. Oh, come on, Regina. Come on, Regina. Now that's going to start something, because I said that and somebody jumped all over me on one of my shows because they said my daughter's my best friend. No, my son is my son. My son is not my best friend. But that's going to open up another whole nother can of worms. But that is what they say. And that's not that I don't agree with that. Demond said, Pastor Charles P. Jackson Sr. says children are more apt to do what they see you do as opposed to what you tell them to do as customary. He's right. You're right about that. Yes, indeed, you are right. I'm telling you, it sounds tight, but somebody got to speak up. Somebody got to say something, because we got to save our children. And parents has got to start in the home. We got to start in the home. We got to start training them. We got to watch our words. We got to watch what we say. We got to watch what we do. We got to watch the company that we bring in. We got to watch the company that they keep. We got to pay attention to all of that. And then one of the most important things, we got to know that our child is not perfect, that they can lie to. Look, I lie. Look, my mom and daddy straight in the eyes and told lies. I sure did. And we know if we lied to our parents, don't we know our children gonna lie to us? Cheryl said, my children are definitely not my friends. Amen. Amen. Demond said, there's a video where a child threw a whole desk chair on a teacher head in Michigan. I think I saw that. Ooh, you know what? I would have got a beating so bad when I got home that I probably wouldn't have been able to sit down for a week. That child was only doing what modeled in her home. I believe that. But see, parents, you can't, oh God, you can't say, even in the church, you can't, like Sunday school, say for instance, let's take Sunday school for an example. If an older person would see that I wasn't in Sunday school, they were going to tell my mom and them. But most important, they were going to say, you go back in Sunday school. You can't tell nobody child that now. You can't tell nobody child you need to be in Sunday school, because you don't know what's going to come up at you by saying something to that child. Because they're going to go, excuse me, y'all, they're going to go to their mama or their daddy and they're going to say, Sister Sue was fussing at me at church today. They not going to say Sister Sue was fussing at me because I wasn't in Sunday school. They ain't going to tell that part. They just going to say Sister Sue was fussing at me. Let me see where I'm at now. Let me see, where am I at? Let's see. We would have went to see our maker had we disrespected an adult and or a teacher. You're right. Matter of fact, I can remember we used to get paddle, you know, that paddle that they had in school, and we used to get paddle. And then when we got home, we would get another beating. Yes, sir. Yes. My grandmother used to say, if you're going to tell it all. I'm telling you, I'm pleading with whoever see this video. I am pleading. I'm pleading with the parents. I'm pleading with the so-called community leaders that's always in the spotlight. I'm pleading with you. Just don't be in the spotlight when something happens and when you're on TV. Be in the spotlight. Go to these parks. Go to these centers. Talk to these young people. Go to these youth events and talk to them. Share a smile with them. Share an encouraging word with them. I mean, that's what some of them just need to know that they are loved. Some of them just need to know that they are loved. Back when we would not even thought about wanting to fight a teacher, first of all, we got the paddle at school. That's right. And then when we got home, we got 2 more beatings. Yes, we did. We got 2 more beatings. But you can't say nothing to a child. Because you just don't know what that parent is going to do. And then and then one of the things, now I'm gonna say this, and I know this gonna hit some nerves. When them little babies is 3 and 4 and they cussing and saying things, and you laughing and you thinking that's cute at them doing that at 3 and 4 years old, you're gonna regret it when they get 13 and 14. You're gonna regret it. At 3 and 4 years old, they cussing and you think it's funny. At 3 and 4 years old. They telling you, Mama, you telling a lie at 5 and 6, and you think it's funny. Oh, good God Almighty in heaven. You think it's funny then, but you're going to suffer the consequences later. We need to do better. Not you, but we all need to do better. The man said, I came up in a time when Miss Maylee whooped you and sent you home, and before you could get in the door good enough, you had another whooping coming right at you. Listen, Damon, let me tell you something. We come around that curve. We had a curve we had to come around, and my daddy would be at the bush getting the switches, because I was always fighting somebody. I was always getting in trouble at school. When I came around that curve, he was on that bush with that knife cutting them switches. And when I stepped my foot, he didn't even wait till I got in the yard. He didn't even wait till I got in the house. When I stepped my foot in the yard, he would beat me from the yard to the house. I'm trying to tell you. But now it's like, okay, you got in a fight today. So what's the problem? Did they hit you? Yeah, they hit me, Mama. Well, okay, that's fine, because I told you if somebody hit you to hit them back. You don't even know the situation. And then you wonder what's wrong with the world. You wonder, parents, what's wrong with the world. Check out. how you're raising your kids. And for God's sake, realize that your children are not always right. That's the biggest thing that I hear parents say, not my child. My child wouldn't do that. My child wouldn't get involved in that. And then, my okay, well, I better leave that one alone. I better not go to that one. Um, yeah, they think it's funny and cute, but it's not. Um, Regina Williams, thank you so very much for tuning in. I appreciate it very much. This is I've heard her cry so many times about young people. She can't raise nobody else children. She can't raise nobody else children, but she pleads with people, and people want other people to raise their children when they ain't raising themselves. And she get out there. There are resources for everything else, but we need resources for young people too. We need conferences. We need self-esteem conferences because a lot of these kids have self-esteem issues because they don't feel loved by their parents, their mama or their daddy. They have a problem because daddy left. They have a problem because mama let grandmama raise them, and it's self-esteem issues. And they need mentoring programs. They need programs. Oh my God, they need things that can help them. And if I was young, well, I'm 62, but I'm saying if I was young in school and in the arena that I'm in, and I had to talk to uh, someone about something that I'm going through, I just don't know who would I talk to. I got plenty of pastors I could talk to. But I'm talking about community. Do they feel in touch with you? Do they see you enough to trust you? Or I'm going to say it again. Are you only there when the TV cameras are there? Are you only there when the TV cameras are there? Are you in the hood when the TV cameras are not there? I ain't voting for nobody who don't be in the hood helping underprivileged children when the cameras are not there. And when you there, you can go in the hood and give away food and fish and hot dogs and all that, but then you can't go there to help these young people. That breaks my heart. They need us. I don't have the resources to help them. If I had the resources to help them, I'd spend my time in the hood because I'm not scared to go in the hood. I'm not scared to go in the hood. I'm not scared to go in the hood, but some people frown on the hood. These people need us. And every other neighborhood can get help, but the hood can't get help. Yeah, I said it. Okay, let me go back. I don't know where I'm at. My grandmother, who I care for now, she used to boil and plant switches. She kept them in an old Maxwell House coffee can. Seemed like those switches would hit your skin and then wrap around your backside or legs. You're absolutely right. I appreciate my upbringing. It kept me straight and I turned out good. We all did. Not perfect, but we are good. Praise God for mama, daddy, granny, papa, auntie, and them. Um, you know what? Let me read this. You said, that's it. As males, we really have no one to talk to. It's sad. That's right. Not hot dogs and fish. Yeah. If you can come in there and solicit during voting time, then you can go in there and help those kids. Do something. If you don't do something but once a year, do a spring fling. Sit down and talk to them. Have vendors with resources out there. Have free things for them. Have games for them. Talk to them. Find out what's going on with you. What do you want? If it's not great, what you want to do? What plans do you have when you finish school? Talk to them. Show it love. Just don't show up to be on TV. Just don't show up to be on TV. Just don't show up to be on TV. And then parents, I'm getting back on you. I didn't have a choice. when I was in my mom's house on a Sunday morning. It wasn't no, Loretta, are you going to church this morning? It was get up, eat breakfast, because you're going to church. Now we know that, just because you go to church don't make everything good. But I'm saying now, not only do we don't take our kids to church, but we lay in the bed and don't go ourselves. They have no kind of spiritual training or nothing. And just about every church in Columbia got programs for young people, but they'll never know about them because some of you parents won't even take them to the programs that these churches have. And if you go on these churches' websites, you will see the program that they have for young people. If you go on the Parks and Recreation for the city and the county, they got a program, but you're too lazy to take them to that. You too lazy. You walk around all day in bonnets and pajamas. Bonnets and pajamas. Oh. I am a parent navigator at the Urban League. We have programs. Call, and I'm glad you put that up there. But Regina, you can put that up there. But if the parents don't take them, if the parents don't inform them, I don't fault the children. I fault the parents. They wait until the child get in trouble to want to take them for help instead of taking them. Oh my God. Thank you, Cheryl. I appreciate that. It's hard, and I didn't want to do this, but I watch a lot of things. I see a lot of things. These children, teens, and young adults have too many options and choices. And we didn't have them kind of options. Only thing we did was go out there and play hopscotch and jump rope and marbles and stuff like that. We didn't have the resources that these kids have. But you know what? The 11, the 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and some 15-year-olds, they can't drive themselves there. So if the parents don't take them there, we can have all the resources they want. It's left up to the parent to make sure that they get there. Let them get everything that they can get. Don't wait till they get in trouble. Don't wait till they get in trouble to want to take them. But take them, let them learn things, let them see the other side of life before it's too late. My heart goes out to that 15-year-old boy who got to spend the rest of his life in prison. My heart goes, he haven't even begun to live. He hadn't even begun to live. I can only imagine what's going through his head as a 15-year-old. And hanging with older people. No doubt he was trying to fit in. No doubt he was trying to be accepted. Cause we not showing them kind of love that they need at home. Parents shouldn't expect the church community center, Miss Mary or Mr. John to pick them up and drop them off either. You're absolutely right. We got to do better. We got to do better, y'all. Not y'all got to do better, but we all as a whole got to do better. But you know what I think? And if I'm wrong, Lord, forgive me. But some of these kids that get in trouble at school, that's like 13, 14, 15, and they keep getting in trouble, they need to take them parents and make them spend a week at Avernus Glen. Not the children, but make the parents spend a week at Avernus Glen. And when they get out in there that week, I guarantee you may say, well, Loretta, what does that have to do with the children? They will not want their children to have to go through that. They will not want their children to have to go through that because every step you take is a clink. Every step, a clink. I done been in there for 24 hours, so I can tell you many years ago, about 25, 30 years ago, for 24 hours, worst 24 hours I ever had in my life. And you got everything, a clink, 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 and then you have to be in the cell for 23 hours out of the day and they only give you 1 hour of recreation, then you in the cell with somebody you don't know who you in the cell with. You could be in the cell with a murderer and not even know it. And then you got to use the bathroom and all that kind of stuff in front of people. That's what the parent who neglecting the children, they need to be made spend a whole week down there. And I guarantee you that they will pay better attention to their children. Let me see. I know I have gone broke spending in heaven. I had to stop. They won't get up until 10 or 11 on Saturday mornings. Most programs start at 9. We also need to learn and promote public transportation. You're absolutely right, Regina. You're absolutely right. Yeah, Demar, make an example then. I bet you they go down there, Evans Glen, and spend a week. There'd be a different parent when they get out. We took the bus when we had to be places and our parents weren't available. Get on the bus. We ain't gonna do that. We ain't gonna get on the bus, and God forbid we ain't gonna walk. We used to ride the bus to the mall as students at Benedict. Yeah, if we want to go somewhere, we would get on that bus. Richland Fashion Mall and Columbia Mall. And guess what, Demond? There wouldn't be no fighting and stuff out there. But my thing is, where is 13, 14, and 15-year-old getting these guns from? Where are they getting them from? How do they know how to get them? Now, we know that they got a lot that you can find out anything you want to from any student. You know, everybody got their resource and stuff like that. But, you know, I can only talk about my parent. My parent knew what I would tell them a lie. And they were saying, they were saying, you lying. You telling a lie. Stop telling that lie. And, you know, they might say a little bit more, but, you know, but now all we want to do is take up for our child. No fighting or shooting, just fun and a peaceful ride. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. Now, I rode through this particular neighborhood, apartment complex, and it burdened me. All you saw was young girls with babies on their laps with pajamas and head bonnets on. And this like 12:30, 1 o'clock in daytime. And their boyfriends. They in public house and then their boyfriends. Then I decided to go back through there around school time. Then they go into the school bus with their pajamas, still got the pajamas on and the bonnets. You know, come on. Ooh, Jesus Christ, have mercy. Lord, have mercy. Help us, Jesus. We need help, Lord. Oh, no. Oh, yeah, I read that. We need help. And we need more dedicated leaders, more dedicated leaders that's going to be leaders when they're not in front of the camera. That's going to be leaders when it's not election time. When it's not election time, we want to see you in the hood when it's not election time, not just when it's election time. If you're not scared to go in the hood to serve them hamburgers and french fries and hot dog and fish, if you ain't scared to go in the hood, you shouldn't be scared to go in the hood any other time. And I'm just calling it like I see it. I mean, if you can go in there and ask people to vote for you, then why you can't go in there with resources to help these people, sponsor field days and all kind of stuff you can do. If you know the parents won't bring them, just about all these apartment complexes got some kind of recreation room that you can use, and you can put the information out there. If you suicide prevention got an event at Riverfront Park, I think it's either Saturday or Sunday. I think every parent that should go out there and listen to those stories. They should take their children, go out there and listen to those stories. It's enough it be tears everywhere to hear parents talk about their kids that committed suicides. The signs were there. They just didn't notice it. It's really, I mean, it's gonna happen at Riverfront Park this weekend. Your children need to hear stuff like that. You need to drop pamphlets in schools and places where young people be about crisis hotlines and different things like that. I mean, if a child has an issue, well, a child or a young boy with substance abuse, who can they go tell? That won't stereotype them. If their mama is a lawyer and their daddy is a doctor, they don't feel that they can tell that they got a substance abuse problem, because then their mama and daddy gonna be stereotyped. And so they got to hold that in, and they got to deal with that themselves. Listen, my heart is hurting. Do you hear me? My heart is hurting. There's not anything I can do because I don't have the resources to do it. But I am pleading with leaders. I am pleading with politicians, and to be more active out there in these young people's lives. Please just don't wait until a tragedy happens. Please, please, I beg you, don't just wait till a tragedy happen. Be out there before. Male leaders, male community leaders, sponsor basketball games in these recreation centers. Females, sponsor something that females like to do. Everybody, all females like weave, I think, and wigs and stuff. Have wig makers and people doing cornrows and stuff, or any kind of stuff to get them out there. Let me see what Regina said. The parents know when the children are not telling the truth. What are they supposed to do? Parents are scared the children will shoot them. Question: what are parents supposed to do if they find a gun on their child? Won't turn them in because there may be a body on the gun and the child may get charged and jail. So many crazy scenarios. Now I hear you. But okay, they scared to turn them in. But what about that same gun turn around and kill the mom and daddy? Because you were scared to turn them in and you didn't want them to get into any trouble. And you, as a parent, didn't chastise them or do anything. So in their mind, it's okay. Well, the first time you don't give them that money they want, the first time you don't give them that car, buy them Jordans or them Nikes, then you may not live to tell it. How many parents do you know that children have shot and killed them? It's you may say it's a win-lose situation, but I would rather turn my child in than he killed me. Now I'm telling you, I'm gonna tell you what the Lord love. I don't want him to kill me. And I love my son, but if he thank you, Regina, if he ain't acting right towards me, and if I have that gun checked out and there's a body on it, 9 times out of 10, something is wrong up here. Something is wrong up here. I know somebody right now. Right now, I know somebody that have to sleep with their door locked because they scared of their child. I know somebody, but it's shared to me in confidence, and I can't tell nobody about that because it's a confidential thing. But I did give them resources of who they can go talk to. You can go talk to this person. You can go to talk to that person. Richland County Sheriff Department. Yeah, I'm gonna praise my own pond. They got youth services out there in Denny Terrace, free for troubled children, free. My friend Curtis Wilson is one of the ones that work with them, and so many others. It's free if they're having any kind of problem. It's free. I told a couple of people about it. Well, he said he didn't want to go. He said he didn't want to go. Now this is what the child telling the mama. He said that he didn't want to go. Yeah, do y'all think I'm fussing? I ain't fussing him. It's just down in my heart. He said that he didn't want to go, so she didn't take him. Miss Savage said, we can do a lot of things without money. It does not cost to read, to listen, or show love and caring. We, our community, can do this. You are absolutely right. Community, not a divided community. Come together. We got to come together. It's not like who gonna get the credit over here and who gonna get the credit over here and who gonna be the big dog here and who gonna be the big dog here and who name gonna be called. It's called saving our children. That's what it's called. It's called saving our children. Somebody says something. Let's see. You're right, Loretta. These kids get on drugs so bad until they do anything. Yeah. This Well, this particular person is not around here. I'm not going to call their name, but for them to have to lock their bedroom door at night and to have to get one of them things where they got to monitor their every move of their child while the child is in the house, and so it'll beep because they don't know when the child is going to come in there and try to kill them. I'm not living like that. I'm not going to live like that. They have to get out. I'm sorry. I ain't going to live like that. I ain't going to live like that. I'm not going to be a bondage in my own house and scared in my own house. That share program helped to save my child 18 years ago. Oh, my goodness. Thanks for sharing that, Regina. Thanks for sharing that. It's sad you have to be scared in your own house. Yeah, Sharon, but there are so many people who are really scared. They're scared of their children. I don't get it. Y'all, maybe y'all, I done talked for 1 hour. And before I close, I want, anybody on here that got resources, put them in the comment box. Any kind of resources for young people. And then put the resources in there. If their parents won't take them, how they can get there. And when that parent told me, I asked him did he want to go to the youth service. He said he didn't want to go. I said, and what did you say? Well, he said he didn't want to go, so I didn't take him. Oh man. You don't want to fuss too bad, but it wouldn't have been a choice. Oh, you're going to go to that. And I'm going to drive you there and I'm going to pick you up. Yeah. It wouldn't have been a choice in the matter. I heard parents say the same thing. The child says he doesn't want to go to these programs. I be doggone. I'm telling you, Regina, the parents, they gonna cry many days. And I'm not speaking damnation over anybody's children, but what you prevent now will help you in the long run. What you prevent now, and if they should happen to get in trouble, if they should happen to do the wrong thing, it won't be because you as a parent didn't do the right thing, because you can say I did all I could. I took her to these different programs. I did all I could and they still got in trouble. Well, you did what you could. You did what you could. You couldn't do no more. But anyway, I appreciate all of y'all. I really do. I really do. But this was so on my heart. It's so on my heart. It is so on my heart that it's just, and my son is grown and married, but I have compassion for somebody else's children. I have compassion when I see things, it bothers me. It's just we got it wrong. If we as adults do better and be an example to young folks, they may not never tell you that they're watching you, but young people watch what we do and they listen at what we say. They watch what we do, and they listen to what we say. And I'm going to say it again. Regina Easter said this. She said, they are not, thank you, Miss Virginia. Our children are not our friends. They are our children. I think what people mean when they say that is that we're so close that they can tell me anything. Well, that's a difference with them being able to tell you anything than them being your friend. But I know parents go out to club with their children. I know parents that, y'all, a lot of time y'all may not understand why I can say some of the things I do, but I know I had this mama that had a 16-year-old daughter boyfriend staying to the house. The daughter was 16 and the boyfriend was staying there. And not just staying there, but sleeping in the same bed. I said, how can you do that? And they told me that this was we live in the 2000s. We didn't live in the it's a difference in the 2000s and living back then when I was living. Lord, my mom and daddy would have beat the boy out in the bed, and me too. I'm telling you. We had not talked a lot about it. Our ministers can be a tremendous resource. Miss Savage, we said this before, I think, before you got on here. Just about every church in Columbia have resources. All you got to do is go on, they beg people. They got free resources, but the parents won't take them. The parents won't take them. And you can't override the minister can't override the parent. They won't even take them to church on Sunday. And we had said that earlier. There's a lot of churches with a lot of ministers with resources, and they got programs, but the parents just won't bring them to be a part of them. We grew up where mama told us what to do. She brought us up on the word of God, whether we liked it or not. I'm saved today. Thank you, Jesus. And you know what, Missy? My mama went to church every Sunday, but my daddy wasn't a church goer. But you know what he did? My daddy would make us get up. Get up. It's time for you to get up and get ready to go to church. Now, he didn't go to church, but he wouldn't let us stay home. He made us get up and go to church. He said, you need to be in church. Oh, thank you, Eartha. I tell you, y'all, let me say this. There's something that we all can do. We all can do a little better. But I say again, there are so many resources. And again, community leaders, just go down Facebook to these different churches and see the resources. They're there, but the parents won't take them. They're there. There are all kind of resources for them. Just go down the line and you'll see them. The pastor can't do everything, but they can make the resources available. But parents got to take them there. The children can't drive themselves. That's the only thing I'm saying. And we got to do better. And again, I'm going to close with this. I think I got a comment. It would be better for them to try and get them help for their children now, because when they get in the system, it's a different ball game. I worked in the prison for many years, and it's sad of the stuff that's going on in there. They'll never be the same again, Sharon. Never be the same again. I know people that's been in prison and been in there 15, 20 years, they get out. It's just not the same. It's not the same. But I'm going to close with this. And this is directed at, I'm going to say this, directly to those who are always in front of the camera when there's a tragedy. Make a difference. And don't just stand behind a camera. Being on TV saying you're a community leader and doing nothing don't mean nothing to me. What works are you doing before the tragedy? That's what I want to know. What are you doing before the tragedy? Loretta Coleman is on Facebook every day. Loretta Coleman rides through the hood every day. I know who is where. when I know what's going on in the hood. I know what's going on because I wants to be in the know. That's why I don't waste my time and listen at no political announcement, none. I don't want to hear you say nothing on TV about what you do, what you gonna do, what have you done, what have you done, what hood have you been in, what neighborhood have you been in. That's what I'm interested in. Good evening, Miss Loretta Coleman. You look beautiful as usual. You never disappoint. Thank you, sweetheart. And I'm getting ready to go off now because I know I done fired some people up, but I had to say it. I had to. I ain't got no problem going in the hood. I ain't scared of nobody in the hood. I wave at them, how you doing? I got sense enough not to go and just walk out there and open it and stuff like that. But I'm not scared of nobody in the hood. And it's not the hood people that'll hurt you. It's some of them that be around you that's your closest people, that you think is your bosom buddy, that you're in the clique and that you're in the sorority and the fraternity with. And with that note, I'll see y'all tomorrow night at 6:55 p.m. for another hot discussion. I don't know what I might talk about tomorrow, but I had to talk about this because it bothers me. And let me tell you one other thing that bothered me. I was riding down Colonial Drive, for those of you in Columbia. Lord have mercy. This girl had got evicted. Everything she had was on the side of the road. And she's sitting on top of the furniture and the clothes trying to protect what she have. Now, you know that went all the way through me. If I would have had the money and the resources, I would have put in a hotel or something. A young girl, I ain't seen no kids, but she was sitting on top of her property where they had evicted her. And that just went all over me. If I ever get millions of dollars or thousands of dollars, see that person like that, I would have went and helped. I don't have to know her situation to see her sitting on top of everything she had. Went all the way through me. How many people wrote by that girl and didn't even face her? But it went through me. Because you know what? It could have been me. It's only by the grace of God that I haven't been sitting out there doing times. But we don't care about other people. When things are going good for us, we don't care about other people. You know, when things are going good, me and my house is fine. I got electricity in my house, or I got food in my house. I got this, I got that. Well, what about your neighbor? What about your neighbor? Oh God, I got to get off of here because I'm getting ready to start up again. What about your neighbor? Love thy neighbor. But we don't do it. I'm going to talk about that. That's what I'm going to talk about tomorrow night. And let me tell you, if there's anybody on here want to be on, we can do a panel. We can have a group discussion. I can get up to 50 people. But that's what we're going to talk about tomorrow night, is loving people where they're at. You got to stop trying to change people, and you got to help people. And you see people, well, she shouldn't have got evicted. You don't know what that girl went through. You don't know what her problems are. You don't know what goes on in nobody's household. You don't know that. So we judge people. I keep saying I'm going to go off, but I keep thinking of one other thing. In 1998, my lights got turned out in 1998. It was 21 degrees. But at that time, you know, I was on WOIC and I was real popular doing concerts and, you know, Loretta Coleman here, Loretta Coleman there. Listen, I ain't tell a soul. I sit in the 21 degree cold weather for 4 days. Because I know how people stereotype you. If you get in need for anything and you ask, they'll help you, but they're going to talk about it. And that's not the right way to do it. And we're going to talk about that tomorrow night. And if you want to be on the panel, come on. We're not going to call nobody names. We don't do that on this platform. We're not going to call nobody names. But we're going to talk about, sometimes you got to keep your mouth shut because you don't know people's situations. You don't know people's circumstance. Let me see. I got a few things here I got to read. Let me see where I'm at. Where am I at? Okay, let's see. I think I'll start with let's see. Okay, Sharon, Regina said that. I read that. Regina said, unfortunately, the person who needs to hear us are not on our social media pages. So true. Miss Savage said, we have not talked about it. Our ministers can be a tribute. Oh, we talked about that. Okay, we talked about what Missy said. I got kind of carried away. I don't know where I'm at. Let's see. Okay, I think we're right here. Sharon said it would be better for them to try and get them help for their children now because they get in. Oh yeah, I read that one. I'm telling you, I'm so messed up right now. Let's see. I read that one. Let's see. Joella said, "This is the truth." Dana said, "So true." Miss Norma Mickens said, "Amen." Miss Regina Williams said, I wonder how long she knew that this eviction was coming and we could have helped if we had known. Regina, let me tell you from personal experience. Sometimes you told no so much, you just said, what's the use of asking anybody else? Now I'm talking from experience. Sometimes you're told no so much. Sometimes you're told no. Sometimes you're criticized. Sometimes you're talked down to. And I'm talking from experience. I'm talking from experience. And sometimes you just say, what's the use? What's the use? Because it messes with your self-esteem. It messes with your self-esteem. So you feel hopeless. I can tell you because I have went to people and they talk to you like you nothing, like you just nothing. Oh, we'll talk about all this tomorrow night. So join us tomorrow night, 6:55. Just because people look good doesn't mean that they are doing good. We don't know. Now, Missy, you got me start up again. You got me start up again. Let me tell you, I just told somebody yesterday. They said, "Oh, I love that dress you had on. It was so pretty. You must be got money." I said, "No, you just need to do the same thing I do: is go online, thrift shop." Angela Bishop, I'm gonna give her some free advertisement. She have $5 dresses, and that's where I get my dresses from. I ain't got no money to go out there and buy no whole bunch of clothes. I'm a big woman, but she have big clothes. $5, $8, $10 at the most. When you see me with them dresses, those are thrift clothes, and I'm not ashamed to tell it. The thrift clothes, the thrift shoes, the thrift pocketbook, the thrift hat. I ain't ashamed to tell it. You understand? So, but people will look at me and think I got it together. Well, she got money. I ain't got no money. I ain't got no money. But thank God I know how to thrift shop. Where I used to have to do without, or because, big girls had to pay more for their clothes, $100, $150. No, I can pay $5 for them and look just as good as the one that get their clothes out of dealers. Yes, been there and was talked about, and it got back to me, and I thank God for keeping me on point. Thrift store, that's me, and I'm an indie gospel artist. All right, Miss, I'm trying to tell you that thrift shopping is good. You're helping somebody. I'm helping myself too, because it's helping me to release. If I will really open up to y'all and tell y'all how I feel about some things, some people, you go to these leaders and you pour out your heart to them, and the next thing you know, it's all over the city. Now, if I had not changed and God hadn't changed my life, oh, I tell who the leaders was. Because when somebody come to you in confidence, you need to keep that. You don't need to tell your wife or nobody, because you don't know who your wife talking to. You love your wife, but you might have a gossiping wife or a gossiping husband. And I've had people to talk about me, and I got it back. Hello, y'all join me tomorrow night and send me some inboxes of some of y'all that want to be on with me tomorrow night when we're gonna talk about everyday stuff, and maybe to help somebody, because we got to stop stereotyping people and stop living in people's households. That's what we got to do. All right, love you. Thank you so very much for joining us. Please share this video with somebody if you think it will bless somebody. Until next time, be blessed.